I don't know. Let's just do some random one, like this Grand Bazaar right here. Yeah, let's have it here. Let's say we have this fella. Oh, come on. Let's say we have this guy over here, okay? And that's pretty good, right? Pretty cool, but not happy yet. And the thing that you can do to make this even better is sometimes I would go to mirror modifier, okay? And then go to edit mode and just drag it out and in. Make sure the axis is correct though. Let's see. Okay, so it's the other way around. I'll drag it out like this. X, like so. And I'll put it like 4 to 5 degrees. And I'll just merge the vertices. So it merged. Okay. And there you go. You got like some kind of a new building there. Right? You got a new blend of stuff. And you can even go and get even crazier. Maybe something like that. Right? And there you have it. You got a new blend. Right? And that's just from one asset. And then you can play around with it some more. You can probably go to like a, excuse me, like a build modifier, right? You can tweak the length. Start frame, let me see. Should it be reversed? I think it should be reversed. Oh yeah, it should be randomized. Yeah. Start with 1. And then you go to the other frames, right? And then you'll have this kind of a destroyed effect for the thing. Right? And obviously this doesn't work here, but it's sometimes what I use this for a lot is for something like a, if there's a wall that I need to destroy, then let's see. And we need vertices for this too. So I'll apply a build modifier. Let's unapply it here. And if I go and I press randomize, oh, sorry, obviously that's not it. Press randomize, right? Then after this, I duplicate this. I'm sorry, did I set wall? If I'm doing something like an organic, like a, not organic, like some kind of a metal surface that I want to be kind of destroyed, dilapidated, then you duplicate this, delete this build, and apply like a wireframe to it, and then just scale this one up a bit, and then you'll have that kind of a thing, right? And that's the power of a modifier that you can use to tweak your assets really quickly. Let's delete here. All right. There's that. What else you can do, you might ask? Okay, there's a lot of things actually. You can use your decals like using shrink wrap. Obviously, I'll show you later. But you can sculpt it obviously, but sometimes I would just go to simple deform again after this, and I will just make it kind of not jagged, but and you'll see in the demo too. I'll make it like off kilter and distort it a little bit so that it catches light in a more interesting way. It's more organic, right? And I find it gives a more cinematic quality if everything is not like dead straight. So there's one of that, and I think this technique will be shown better with these kinds of assets. So let me go to my Wild West asset, and if you see this house here, well, not a house, that's a church. If you see this workshop, let's say. All right. And what I like to do with stuff like this, especially if the structure is like wooden, okay, if it's like a medieval house, in a commoner's house, you would rarely see it like dead straight constructed like this. Especially if it's like a not a new building. I would sometimes do like a shear Control Shift Alt S, and I'll shear it just ever so slightly like that. Same here. Ever so slightly so that I don't have a dead straight angle. And then from here, right, the imagination is your limit. So, and let's say I need like a fence. Then rather than just modeling a fence, okay, I'll just go here into the model and I'll just pick some here. I'll duplicate P, separate by selection. By the way, to duplicate, you can press Shift D, okay? And then to select it all, you can just select random ones and Control L. It'll select all the connected pieces. P to separate, and I'll just use this as my fence pieces, okay? Because, why? Because it already has material, and it already works. Right, and you know, the shapes are already pretty nice, honestly. So I can use that for my fence, and I can make a fence that way. I can even construct another whole new building just by, let's say, I'll separate this whole facade and I'll mix and match it with another one. That's totally possible, okay? And then, what if I want this to be kind of destroyed? Then, okay, again, you don't have to do everything like just moving it away like that. You can just select here, okay? Let's say this is what we selected. Let's deselect the one at the back. And then I can separate these guys, separate by selection. And then I'll go here. And then I'll go again. I'll separate again by loose parts. But this time, I won't deselect the stuff. I will select this, set origin to geometry. I'll go to Object, Transform, Randomize Transform. And I'll randomize it. You know, maybe the rotation a little bit. That's how you get like a dilapidated, and you know, the rest is just stock tweaking, stuff, you know, something like that. And there you go. And that applies for everything. So let's say I want to, I don't know, like I want to spread some particles around. So rather than using particle systems, I think the same technique can be used too. Like let's say here, I can just randomize it like so. Right? And I'll join this guys and I'll, you know, just make my particle that way. Because it's cheaper, I think. And it's faster to work this way. Okay? But yeah, that's a tangent. And yeah, basically that's how I would work with my assets to be more creative. It's nothing too surprising, to be quite honest with you, but people just sometimes just do not push their assets far enough. And I find that kind of a really missed opportunity to not do that. And so yeah, that's been me, and I'll see you in the next video.